Betuashtelo, Hahanawashte. Something good will happen today. It's a beautiful day. Good morning. Um, Tehovit, thank you. In my dad's people's language, the Tongva. And my nana was Mescalero, Apache, and Yaqui. This is the way we introduce ourselves. Pretty much long introductions with natives. Hemiakaje, my given name as far as my indigenous name, Wamble Ishta Wachapi Sapa. I am the black star-eyed eagle. My surname is Stephen Garcia, and I looked it up. It means gracious crown. I like that. So anyway, happy Indigenous Month. Hey, day, year, life. What we're gonna do here today is a conglomeration of food and health and wellness. And to start it out, they asked me to play a flute song for you. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to play the flute, but first I'm going to blow this little whistle that I usually blow for the eagle dance in honor of all our ancestors. So. Oh. It works too. There goes an eagle. Oh, yes. Oh, it's thank you.
Hi guys, my name is Julie DeFilippi and I work for SCARE. I'm the youth coordinator here. We're going to do our holiday health and nutrition segment today. We're going to have a lot of really good foods. I have food from my tribe, which we'll talk about more in depth after this. I'm part Aleut and Italian, and I have my daughter. She's going to be my little sous chef today in the kitchen. And this is Chloe Byrne, and she's Aleut, Italian, and a little bit of Mexican as well. We hope you enjoy this segment, and thank you for watching.
Hi everybody, my name is Kathy Wilcutt. I am Lakota. I was born on the Cheyenne River Reservation in South Dakota. My father is also Lakota from the Rosebud Reservation. I live here in San Diego in Kumeyaay territory. I work at SCARE as the Tupi cultural educator here at SCARE. And today our class is on holiday nutrition, traditional teachings around the holidays, and also the fall season. Okay.
So this is called a crudité, and it can be anything. It can be a crudité can be anything you have in the house. You can use your carrots, your broccoli, celery. You can make it fancy with olives. You can make it with, for me, because I'm part Alaskan, we have a lot of, we eat a lot of salmon, smoked salmon, and it's really good. So I brought this as a special and a special added extra, and I got this from Grocery Outlet, and it's only $5.99 because I know smoked salmon can be very pricey, but it's always nice to have a little bit of your home flavors incorporated in these at these special times in the holiday. So I have Chloe who's going to help me out. So I have today, because I want a lot of color on my platter. I like color. In color, they say if you have like the rainbow on your platter, you're getting all the nutrients that you get for your body, which we all need. I don't eat enough salads, so this is exciting that we're doing this today. So Chloe, if you could just cut it in half and then just slice them in long strips, that would be great. Now, I made this is a kind of cool idea. It's a cabbage, but I gutted out the center and I'm gonna use it as a dipping bowl. And you can use hummus, you can use ranch dressing, your choice of whatever you like to dip your vegetables in. I know hummus is pretty popular nowadays. I love hummus, and they come in all these different flavors, the garlic, the peppers, all different types of flavors. And then I also did for another side of dipping, because I think the crudité platters are really fun as a family because you can get the kids in the kitchen. They can start learning, they can help out, because kids love to help out anyway. When they're younger, they like to help out. They want to help out mom and dad, and they want to make it look pretty. So it gets them in the kitchen, it gets them familiar with all the different fruits and vegetables that you can add to this platter, which is, I think it's good at a young age to start them out in the kitchen. I think it's important to do that. We don't do that enough like we used to when we were growing up, but I think it's really cool that we do that now. Kind of get back in that healthy, our healthy eating habits and get that going again. So I have some hummus, and I put it right there in the center. And I think it's really cool because it kind of adds that little special touch to your platter. So I have that. And I also have, this is an onion dip. But the packets are like 50 cents at the 99-cent store. And I'm not pushing any stores by any choice. I love the 99-cent store. You can get a lot of really awesome vegetables for cheap. And the onion dip, I added sour cream, but you can do Greek yogurt. Of course, not flavored, but plain Greek yogurt, and it makes it healthier. And the kids won't even notice, I swear, they will not even notice. And it's better for them. So mine is a more basic platter, but I did make it special because I added my salmon to this platter. And I love Triscuits, so I'm gonna have Triscuits with ours. So we're gonna start putting this together. So Chloe, if you would, put a little red, a little green. We're just gonna make this look really colorful. Now I like broccoli and I like cauliflower, but I don't like cauliflower raw because I don't like the consistency. It's really chalky. Thank you very much. It's very chalky. So I blanched them, and I know that sounds like a fancy thing, but all you do is fill up a pot with half water, half of it filled with water, some salt, and 3 to 4 minutes for one head of cauliflower. And it makes them just a little bit tender, so they're not all chalky. And I think the kids would like them a lot better too, trust me. It's hard enough getting our kids to eat more vegetables, but if you blanch them, trust me, you'd be surprised. And purple's really pretty. They have purple, they have orange, they have the regular white. It's just a lot of fun. We're making all the colors of the rainbow. And then we have our broccoli, and again, I did blanch the broccoli. I'll eat broccoli raw, but I personally like it a little bit tender. And it's fun having these crudités because you can either put strawberries, you can put blueberries. You can add orange slices in between. I mean, you can do so much with these. And then I have some cherry tomatoes. So again, I'm just picking up just a lot of the basics that, you know, everybody has in their salad. So it's doable. But then later on, if you Google crudité, you'd be surprised how many cool things you can add. And then I know Kathy's gonna incorporate some stuff in hers that I probably didn't in mine. I also have radishes. Now, Miss Chloe, if you can, just, we're just gonna chop them, and we want everything in bite-sized pieces, like that. So bite-sized pieces, so it's easy for people to pick up and eat. Going off, easy to pick up and eat. I just want you to know that I got toothpicks. Toothpicks are easy, they're fun, and you know, the kids will have fun dipping in on the veggies. But as a family, we know we just use our hands anyway. Everybody's comfortable with everybody's touching their food anyway. We're all family here. And then I got your carrots. And you can use any carrot you want. You can cut the carrots, but since I did get the baby cut carrots, they're perfect. But again, you can slice them thinner. It's however you want to do it. I just love these things. I find that the kids eat a lot more. And if you display it really nice, they dig right in. A little extra tip though for kids, if you have young ones, I did get these little peanut butters cups because kids, you know, some of them are hesitant to eat vegetables. So if you put little peanut butter cups, they eat the celery better. Or wherever they want. I mean, it's whatever you want to do. So it's already starting to look perfect. That's perfect. And so we might not have arranged it all perfect, but I just want you guys to get the gist of how it would come out to be. And crudité, which I didn't know, crudité means raw things, which I didn't know what crudité, because it's so fancy. It's a French word, crudité, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is something that's not for me. I can't afford to make it. But like I said, you can add your nuts, you can add dried fruits. I mean, it's endless on crudité, endless. So what we did, I'm gonna kind of show you a little bit, but it's like that. And so you got your, you know, it's like the purples, the greens, the reds, the oranges, and then you got the cabbage, the centerpiece. And like I said, you can put anything in the centerpiece for dipping, anything that you like. And then we can't forget the celery sticks. And I think you guys at home will have a lot of fun together, you know, going out and picking vegetables that you guys like, even fruits or whatever you guys like, and putting it together. And then take a picture of it, because we definitely want to see it. Please take a picture of it. And when you're done watching the video, we have links underneath, and I'll put my email down there. I want you to send pictures of all these really cool fruit platters or veggie platters that you guys put together, because I'm excited to see what they look like. And I'm going to have my other coworker, Kathy, come over, and she's going to show you what she's got planned for you. Thank you.
Hi everybody. So we are back at the table and we're preparing the crudité platters. And one thing I want to emphasize about doing this is it's a really nice way to bring the family together, bring your children together, bring the men in your family together to help out. You know, I think that during the holidays, especially with indigenous tribes, we put a big emphasis on food. Food is sacred to us, especially if we hunted it, if we prepared it. You know, nowadays in an urban setting, we go shopping and sometimes we lose that sacredness of food. So in an urban setting, or even if you're out in the country, in the city, on the reservation, wherever you are, it's just reminding ourselves of Thanksgiving, gratitude for everything that we have, for our gardens, for all the hard work we put into planting the seeds, to growing the vegetables, the fruits, for hunting the animals that sacrificed their lives for us to keep us healthy and give us their energy to move forward. So, sorry. I would like to also mention that this is about art too. It's not like we're gonna throw everything on a dish and gobble it up. We don't want that. We want to show our children a good example of how we appreciate food, and appreciating food by tasting every little bite, enjoying it with our eyes, with all our senses, our smell, our sight, our touch, the way it makes us feel. You know, just like when we make our warm teas in the winter, or a hot cup of coffee, or a bowl of soup, all of those things make us feel really good when we have it during a cold time. In the summer, we enjoy lemonade, we enjoy watermelon, something that cools us down. So, you know, it's just always paying attention to your body and what your body needs. You know, sometimes I'll crave beets, and I'm like, okay, I guess my body needs beets because I'm craving it, and I'll just, you know, fill up on beets. So really pay attention to your body. If you crave something, most likely you're lacking a nutrient that you need that is in that food. Okay, so Julie's my assistant today, and I will go ahead and start on this little platter. So we want to put down a thin slice of pear. So if you want to do,
Thinner?
yeah, thinner.
Got it.
And this is great for children, because sometimes children, if you just give them a full whole fruit, it's not interesting to them. But if you make little pictures, flowers, however you want to make it, to get it into their stomachs is good. So what we want to do is lay the pears flat, and then we're going to go ahead and put a little piece of cheese. Now I myself like this cheese. It's called Asiago cheese because it's sharp, but children may not like it. You know, maybe they like cheddar cheese or mozzarella cheese. So use the type of cheese that your family enjoys. And then what we want to do is we're going to add some pomegranates to it. But first, let's go ahead and spread this out. The pears. And then you're going to put a little slice of cheese on each pear. So you have fruit, protein. You want to go ahead and add one to each. I don't know how many pieces we need.
4 more. There we go. 2 more pieces and we're good to go.
Okay.
Thank you. Perfect.
Okay, so then we want to add some color to it. So I'll go ahead and get the pomegranate and just sprinkle it around it, on it. If you can get it to stick on it, that's great, but sometimes that's not going to happen. So we're just bringing color to the platter to show the beauty of it. And then you could also add what it is. So here's a pear to show that it is that. And then you can even put a bigger slice of cheese on your platter. You can put the cheese cutter on it as well, and just lay it down there. And then just keep building on that. So we have some, what are these called? Golden berries, gooseberries. So a lot of times I like to add berries to food, especially meats. Meats, it's really good with, like last year we did this class. We did bison meatballs, and this time I made turkey meatballs because I know in a lot of places there's wild turkey running around, and maybe you have hunters in your family that go hunting, so you could do turkey meatballs, and I'll show you that as well. So I don't know, Julie, if you want to like just spruce that up a little bit.
You got it.
Make it look a little bit nicer with those things. Okay, so here is the turkey meatballs, and I I put them in the oven already, so they're heated up. And I'm gonna go ahead and put them in the tray here. So for myself, I like meat with some sweetness. So I will go ahead and sprinkle some pomegranates on the turkey meatballs as well. And you can even add it to wild rice. You can do a number of things with it. Maybe even some more gooseberries here. Okay, and let me see what else. Oh, okay. So this is maple and agave syrup. And I know a lot of tribes, they use maple or they use agave, and this has both in it. This is also organic, so I like to put this in a little glass and put it beside the meatballs. And if someone likes the sweetness, they could dip the meatball or take a little bit and glaze it over it. So you can do that. And then how are we coming with your platter, Julie? It looks really pretty.
I like your pomegranate seeds.
Thank you.
I like that brightness, that red pops.
I have
It's very
more
pretty,
here if
yeah.
you like. Okay, so as she's doing that, I'm just gonna clean up a little bit. So this is a great thing that children love to do. Like, you could ask them to peel the pomegranate for you. You can ask them to help sprinkle it on. They say that children will eat more vegetables if they've grown it. So if you have a garden and you have kale, you know, maybe have them take care of it through the summer. You know, water it, pull it out, chop it, and then add it to your foods, and they will appreciate it more. So thank you, Julie. That looks beautiful. So that is fruit, protein. That's protein from the cheese and fruit from, fruit from the pears and the pomegranates and the gooseberries. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move to the next tray. So I just like to slide things over so we can just move this. Okay, so this one is going to be a combination because I am Lakota and my children are Lakota and Tongva, and I like to add foods from both our tribes that our tribes eat. So one food that my tribe in South Dakota eats is trout. So this I found at Trader Joe's, and it's smoked trout fillets, and it's really good. And I think it was only $3 when I picked it up. And this is how it looks. There's a lot of oil in it. I actually like to eat the oil. I'll soak up some bread in it or a cracker. And sometimes I'll even share it with my cats. I'll drizzle it on their cat food, and they like it as a treat. So here's that. I'll put that over here. Actually, I'll just leave it here. Okay. So this one is the California style one. So we have the orange slices. These are dried. And I like to incorporate dried fruits to the platter. This is like the fruits and nuts tray. And this is really good to have out on the table while you're visiting your friends, enjoying the holidays. Because if people get hungry, they can just come, grab a snack, and go sit back down, do art or craft, if that's what they're doing. And Julie, if you'd like to help me, here is sunflower seeds. So we're gonna go ahead and put that down. And then if you'd like to just put those where you like.
Okay.
We also have Turkish apricots. They're organic. So we're gonna add this. And we have candied walnuts. So we'll add this as well. And then, excuse me, Julie. So this is seaweed. No, go ahead, you can keep moving. So So this is seaweed, and this is from Stephen's tribe. So my daughters are also coastal natives, and his tribe, they would eat a lot of seaweed. So I like to always have seaweed on our platter to represent the Tongva tribe. So I have a little bit of Lakota, I have Tongva, and also regional where we live in California. So we have like the nuts, the dried fruits, and I'll just leave it in here and then people can just take a slice. If you have a prettier glass, that would be fine too. Or maybe we could put it in one of those long trays.
Right, yep,
Yeah.
got it.
So if you
Yeah,
want
I'll
to go
do it
ahead
for
and
you.
do that.
Go ahead.
Okay. And then with the nuts, you could put it, you know, you just kind of sprinkle it on the tray. And if you have a salad, you could also come to this tray and pick up some nuts and fruits and add it to your salad. I also like to add fresh fruit to our salad. So a lot of times we'll make cut up strawberries, add it to a spinach salad, or blueberries. I love blueberries and coleslaw. So just giving it a little bit of sweetness that's natural. So here's how it looks. I'll turn it around, and then here's the seaweed. We could even put that on the tray if we like. Let me just scoot this over. And there you have it. So here's the platter. Here's the meat. Let me just scoot these over. And we're going to go ahead and clean up the table and show you the presentation of all the foods. So there's some easy tips for the holidays. And I hope you really enjoy yourselves and enjoy your children, your families, have quality time while you're doing this. I remember one time when my daughter was young, it was her birthday, and I invited all our family, all our friends over, and I made tacos for them. Well, I was in the kitchen the entire time, and I was really sad because I didn't get to enjoy the people that came over. I didn't get to visit. I didn't really get to be there with my daughter enjoying her birthday. I was in the kitchen the whole time. So I learned from that lesson, and I thought, okay, well, holidays, birthdays, any type of celebration, for mothers, a lot of times all the work falls on us. So we have to remind our family members to please help, prepping, shopping, just anything they could do. Always incorporate them because it does teach them. You know, you teach them how to be a responsible team member to your family. So this is a great way to just put some things out for the holidays. People can enjoy them, and you can enjoy your holidays well. You can enjoy your children, your friends, and relax. So thank you. I hope you enjoy this.
Good afternoon, good morning, depending on when you're tuning in. Today what we're doing is food. Food for the holidays. When you think about the holidays, you think of a lot of food and what you're gonna intake. And I always like to say, intake is everything, because what you get out of your body is what you put into your body. So, they put me up to the chips here. And keeping with tradition as far as our ways are, corn. We have blue corn chips here, and what we would use as far as most southern tribes, like from the Yaqui side of my Nana, the Apache side, especially with most southern people, Dinahs, Hopis, Pueblos, Zunis, they would use the blue corn. And so the blue corn chips, you could get them at a lot of stores. I'm not making any plugs today, but the blue corn is really good for you. You really want to look at how they prepared it in the healthiest possible way. And so if you put that out for your people, whatever kind of dips they want to use with that is, it's a good thing to put into your body. When we think of, well, here we go, Italian breadsticks from my mother's side, hey? My mother, the paisan. I like breadsticks because they're crunchy. If you've ever been to a party and you see breadsticks, the kids are gonna grab those first. And so you can even make those in a vertical position so it's easier to obtain them. And you look for the ingredients in them, and they're made with olive oil, which is really one of the best things they find for memory, for your mind. Olive oil is really good for your hair, basically your whole system. A lot of people cook with olive oil. It's better than cooking with a lot of the different oils that they put out there. And this is pretty good food here. What else do we have here? We have beets. Hey. Now I don't usually eat beets raw. You should. That's the best way to eat them. And these are actually a beautiful way to do beets, dehydrated and dried out, turned into a chip. And as Julie was saying earlier, with the colors of the rainbow, you know, you want all the colors of the rainbow. So with this nice orange-red color you have here, and you can arrange your display how you want to. Presentation is everything, and it draws the people into it. So when you put your chips around, you know, find a nice bowl for dip, whatever types of dips you want to use. And with these we have the crackers that are scallop cracker trio, rosemary, red chili, and garlic crackers. Now everybody knows garlic is really good for your system, provided you don't eat too much garlic. The red chili, this helps stimulate your blood system. And rosemary. Rosemary, my grandmother used to use rosemary in a lot of things. And that's another property that from nature that's really good for your memory. And if you've ever cooked fish, you know, rosemary, dill, all those types. So when you look for crackers, look for the ingredients in them as far as what type of plant vegetables they put into them, and definitely what they cook them in or dehydrate them in. Baked is always better than saturated fats and oils, because if you've ever been to the doctor and they tell you your blood pressure's high or your blood pressure's low, a lot of the times it has to do with what your intake is. And as I say, you wouldn't, you know, I had friends in high school and I would tell them, you know, because they wouldn't have any energy and they just couldn't get it. And I said, all you do is eat fast food. And I said, would you go out there and put a handful of dirt in your engine, in your carburetor, your gas tank? Like, what are you, nuts? And I said, it won't run very well, will it? And I said, what do you think about your system? Do you drink enough water? Do you drink enough juices? What are you putting in? It's what you're gonna get out, high performance. So they're like, wow, what an analogy. Sometimes you have to, you know, appeal to the mind of who you're talking to. So I guess this one right here would be probably the chili ones or the rosemary. I'm not sure. And what do we have left here? Multigrain flaxseed water crackers. All right. Well, these go with pretty much everything or nothing, because whenever I see them in the house, I can eat a whole bag, and they go fast. But these are rather thin, but they're strong enough for your dips or cheeses, whatever type of cheese you want to put on these. And yeah, they're light. You can feel the lightness in them. They're not heavy, they're not greasy. When you put crackers on a napkin and the napkin isn't see-through at the end of the time you eat them, that's a good sign. So basically, yeah, they put me in charge of chips, and that's my platter on chips. Stay healthy and have a great holidays. Indulge, but don't overindulge. Thank you.
Hey guys, welcome back. We're going to be doing the activity part of this harvest training, which is decoupage pumpkins. And for this one, you're going to get a pumpkin, but they're going to be more smaller, of course. This is going to be used for the centerpiece for during the holidays. And I think it'd be really pretty in the middle of the table, you know, when you're eating dinner. And it just adds that extra splash of color and that warm feeling of Thanksgiving. Today, decoupage pumpkins. So I went to Michael's and we got a lot of dried leaves. And you can use any type of a flower if you want. You can use any type of colors I chose autumn colors because it's fall. And I thought I'd give that extra special, like I said, splash of color to the living room table. So we have a bunch of leaves laid out in the center, and everybody's gonna pick whatever ones they want, whatever sizes, whatever colors. I did start this one earlier because I kind of wanted to give you guys a picture of what it was gonna look like when it's done. And of course, this is a little too big, but I just went with it just to kind of see what it would turn out like. And it's really pretty. And with the glue, the Mod Podge gives it that extra glossiness to it, which I like too. So this one's not done yet, but I just wanted to show you what yours would look like at the end. So we have that. Now I gave everybody some fern, 4 pieces of fern. And you don't have to use the fern. You can use it however you want to. You can use all of it. You can just use a couple pieces. It's up to you. And then we have the leaves incorporated. So we're going to start with this. So if you guys would like to pick out whichever colors you'd like. And I'm just going to start off with a few pieces because I'm going to kind of like play with it and kind of see what it would look like. Because I'll start laying the pieces on the pumpkin, kind of start giving me an idea of how I want these pieces to lay out on the pumpkin. Now I do want to say that I took apart, it was called a wreath, and so it was a long string of leaves, and I cut the leaves off the wreath. And you're going to notice you might not have them on the back of your leaves, but some of them have the plastic pieces. You're going to have to take these pieces off. And like I said, not all, you might get pieces that don't have it. Not all of them will. It's the only reason why these pieces are on here is because, again, like I said, it was on a wreath. And it just pulls off really easily because you don't want this plastic piece. It makes it very hard for it to stick on the pumpkin. And so you can find any type of, any end it can be taken off from, like, you got that okay?
I'm having trouble.
So in like, yeah, it's like, ooh. But once you get a piece of it,
This one came off easy.
yeah, some of them are, yeah, that one's not. So we're just gonna keep on going.
Okay.
But I got some of these without them.
Okay.
I find that maybe because it's the softer pieces, it's harder to find off. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll just move on.
Okay.
So sorry for that. We're kind of we're learning. This project. It's very time consuming too. It takes time for the glue to stick with the leaves. So you're gonna find yourself giving yourself 15-minute breaks between because you want it to really dry as you're going along. So these are like silky flowers, autumn colors. So let's just start off with this first because this is what I did. I started off with the green fern. So you got your green fern. Oh, you're gonna have a paper plate or even a piece of cardboard handy on the side because it can get a little sticky and messy. So you're gonna take your glue. You notice that one side's darker. You want the darker side on the outside of the pumpkin. This lighter side you're gonna glue. So you're gonna use your paper plate and you're gonna lay it like this with the light side down. Up, sorry, light side up. You're gonna dip your paintbrush in the glue, and again, it's easy if you leave the leaf laying flat on the paper plate, and then just taking your fingers on the end and just start slathering it on. You're just gonna slather like that all over. Slather, I don't even know if that's a word, but we're gonna use it because it makes sense. We're gonna just cover it up. And once you get all the glue on your piece of fern, you're gonna stick it where you wanna start, on the pumpkin. And again, yes, this is gonna be messy, but it's totally fun, and you're gonna love the way it looks at the end. This is a good holiday activity as well, because it gets the family together.
So we go ahead and start putting it on.
Yep, and this is
Okay.
what I did. So I picked a spot on my pumpkin, and I laid it on there. And you're just gonna, with your fingers, just push it down as best as you can. Just get it on there. Initially you just wanna get it stuck on there, like I said. And then give it like 10 to 15 minutes to dry. So you're gonna move on to your next leaf. And I know it doesn't look pretty right now, but I promise when we go the second round, when we go back around, we'll hit it with more glue, and then it would look like this does right here. It's nice and glossy and perfect. So let's move on to the next leaf. I thought it was kind of, because it's so messy, I have baby wipes handy, and I put them in little piles around so you can just wipe your fingers off real quick. It just makes it easier, because I was trying this the first time and I was running back and forth to the kitchen, and that wasn't very convenient. So baby wipes are awesome. Now, when you guys are done with this video, when you're done watching the video on this, we're gonna post the links below. And I found this really good YouTube video of decoupage pumpkins. And you could use that to follow along for tips, just to kind of give you some ideas. There's lots of different videos on decoupage pumpkins. And you can use any flowers, like I said, as long as they're flat, of course, because they work best, especially when you're gluing them on. There's so many different colors out there, so many different flowers you could use. It's endless. So here we go again. And I think I'm going to put it right here. And it's a little tricky. Just know that, you know, it's sticky, and you're going to be messy. But just take your time. There's no rush. I love art. You take your time with it, you go with it. Let your mind kind of just think about how you'd like to lay them out there. I mean, there's so many different ways you could have. You could have leaves around the bottom base of the pumpkin. You can have leaves as the center of your pumpkin going around it. You don't even have to use the green. And I think instead of 4 pieces, I'm going to use 3, only because this is a smaller pumpkin, and I think it would be pretty like that. So let's do one more. I like keeping the pumpkin around, not only for Halloween, you know, cutting it out and making it look scary or funny. It's kind of cool like this because you can keep it the whole month long up and through Thanksgiving. So you have that decoration to use. And it doesn't have to be in the centerpiece of the dinner table. It could be as they're walking in the door where you greet them on a nice little side table. It can be put anywhere. Okay, so mine are on there. I need to let them dry though, because you're gonna go over them again. So just have some patience with this activity, because you do need to let it dry. I love this time of the year. It's really fun this time of the year.
so relaxing doing this as well.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Mhm.
And you know, it's nice to take some time and just sit down and enjoy some time with your family. It's key. It's very important you do that. I mean, we're always rustle, bustle, hustle. You know, it's just it's work, it's school, it's appointments with teachers and doctors and everyday life. There's shopping, and it's just that you just this is a perfect time to unwind, enjoy your family. Okay, so I'm gonna have to draw just a little bit longer.
So now we paint over the fern as well?
Yeah, if once you go around it, I'm hoping that that first piece that you did put on there is okay enough for you to take your brush and start, and you can cover the whole leaf because this will dry clear. This will dry clear.
Okay.
And you're just doing that. And if it doesn't work and it's moving too much, then just like I said, just let it dry. Go, you know, do something else just for a few minutes. Just give it some time, basically, is what I'm saying. Just give it some time to dry. Yeah, I googled decoupage pumpkins, and I couldn't believe there's so many different styles you can do out there. There's this one, and maybe I will add this link to the bottom as well, but it was a pumpkin with Thanksgiving napkins. So you can go to the dollar store, get like Happy Thanksgiving or whatever sayings that they have that have to do with, you know, being thankful, or turkeys on them, or whatever you want. But they take the napkin, cut it up, and then you're decoupaging the napkin instead of the dry leaves. You can do it as a napkin as well, and they're pretty cool. You got to Google that one, but I will add the link for that just in case you do want to try that as well. And then we will be having a link also about pumpkin seeds, roasting those pumpkin seeds, because who does not like roasted pumpkin seeds? I love roasted pumpkin seeds. Yeah, so I'm just gonna keep on, try to hit my second one. And you might have to go around and hit them again 3 times. I mean, it's just, you know, this is just, it does take time. And you guys can tell stories. Maybe, you know, you guys can, at the table when you're doing this activity, you can talk about times where you remember around the holidays, like grandma was doing this, or grandma made this, the best pies, or you can, I mean, there's tons of, just to spend that time together and reminisce about, you know, the kids growing up. I remember when they were this age and we used to do this, or everybody's got those traditions. And this is a perfect time just to take that time, do some art, and talk about it. All those memories.
I like the, during the holidays, I think about the oranges with the cloves in them.
Mm,
That smells so good.
it does smell
Yeah.
good. I love that citrus smell.
Yeah, I do too.
And so, you know, you can move on. Like I said, the leaves do take a while to dry, and then the fern takes the greenery takes a long time to dry. You can move on and pick a leaf, and we can start along the top.
So we just overlay over the fern, is that right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So right by the stem, and you can take it however you want to do it, all around the
Okay.
top. You can do some around the top and then do some along the base. I mean, there's no wrong or right way to do this. go ahead and start a leaf. So I'm gonna just give these guys a break. So I'm going to start my first one, and again, you can just put your leaf on the plate. Cover the back of your leaf with your glue. And then place that leaf where you think you would like it to be. And so I'll put it right here on top. Now I know it gets a little tricky because of the amount of glue that you're using. So it can be sticky with your fingertips and you notice the leaf isn't staying. Just grab that paintbrush. Now I have a tack here. You can use toothpicks, but I found this little trick to be very helpful is I'll stick that tack on the top leaf and then I will kind of reinforce. It's being very stubborn, and this is very stubborn. Yeah. Being very stubborn. I gotta think that wants to work. Let's see here. Let me try it again.
Do we let it dry a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get my first leaf to stick on the top, and that was like.
Mine is kind of hanging off, but it looks pretty.
Yeah, and as long as it,
too.
yes.
Yeah.
And see how that, now that's good that you brought that up because, you know, this right here, you see the leaf kind of coming up off there. I think it looks pretty like that. I really do. I don't think you really have to like have it all sticking down flat. Just let it do its thing, work with it.
Okay.
It adds some character to it.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely,
Okay.
definitely. And that's basically that's basically it on this. So we're just going to continue to do this, and but it's coming along. It may not look like anything right now, but trust me, once the glue dries, it gets glossy. It looks pretty, and it's a perfect size. All right. I'm just going to try to move on to another leaf. I think with everything going on with COVID and us having to stay in and you can't really get together in big gatherings, I think this is a good month and a good time to try to think of things that maybe when you were a kid you guys did something that was traditional that you guys did with your family. What we did a lot of is we played board games around the holidays with family. We took advantage of that time and we pulled out the board games and we made popcorn and we just relaxed, had fun. We put on some music in the background and we just spent a lot of family time together. So if you're crafting or playing games, whatever you want to do, I mean, this is a perfect time to do it. I know, I feel like, I don't know if you feel like this, Kathy, but I feel like over the years, a lot of the old traditions have really, they're gone. And
Yeah, I feel like it's really up to us as parents or grandparents to continue the traditions by keeping them alive by continuing them every year and also teaching the younger generation and also passing on that responsibility, like let them organize it for the next year,
yep,
and then that way they'll remember.
yep,
Yeah.
exactly, and they look forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's important.
Yeah, so I think it's just a matter of consistency,
Yes. Do you roast pumpkin seeds?
Yes, I roast them and I also save some. I had pumpkin, spaghetti squash, delicata squash, butternut squash, and what I do is I would dry them out, and then I have a little spice jar that I save, and then I'll put some of the seeds in there for the following year to garden.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I
Oh,
have acorn squash delicata and spaghetti so far.
well, that's a nice idea.
Yeah, that way you don't spend a lot of money on seeds when you're gardening. You don't have to buy them because you already have them.
Yeah.
As long as you get heirloom or organic.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, that makes a difference.
yes.
Okay. I never would have thought to do that to save my seeds from what I eat. And then, yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of cool. But
Even-
organic, I
yeah.
got you.
Any vegetable you can do that with, or fruit.
Do you like do you just do the regular for roasting pumpkin seeds? Do you just do it
Just
the
put it,
regular?
spread it out on a cookie sheet,
Mhm.
and then put the spices you like on it and roast them.
Is there a particular spice you like on yours?
Just salt. I just like salt on
Okay.
mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the only way I've done it. But I
Mhm.
Googled a lot of different ones, and you could do cinnamon and sugar. You can do paprika or a cayenne pepper to add a little kick to them. There's lots of different flavors that you can, spices that you can use to flavor your pumpkins, your
Right.
pumpkin seeds and roasting. And again, I did add a link that you can watch where she does 3 different kinds of roasting pumpkin seeds, 3 different ways.
Well, I think I'm done with mine.
Okay.
Yours looks good, Chloe.
I'm gonna
And
just-
yours does too, Julie.
It's gonna come along really good. I can't wait for it to dry and have that glossiness.
Yeah.
And it's gonna look really pretty.
Now it will stick because it's kind of sticking up right now, but it should be fine because I did put a lot of glue on the bottom.
Yes.
Okay.
And one thing I forgot to I'm glad you said something. I noticed with you've got on the clumping on a lot of the clumping on the glue. Take your paintbrush
Okay.
and just try to just go over it and flatten it out as much as you
Okay.
can.
Okay.
Just the big clumps, because you don't want the glue to dry clumpy.
Okay.
You have little
I
clumps
see.
and it'll dry clear, but you'll see those little clumps. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
I'm just, if you just go over it a few times and kind of like, just roll out those clumps a little bit, and you're good to go.
Okay.
Just the best you can. It doesn't have to be. I totally forgot that, so I'm glad you said something about that, 'cause but have fun with this. I mean, you know what's cool about this is don't even go to Michael's. If you have flowers around your neighborhood and that aren't in people's yards or you're gonna get in trouble, let's specify this. On the side of the side of the road, if you're walking at a park or you're out and about, pick some flowers. Pick the ferns out there. Pick those flowers. Use those. That's amazing. They're really, really pretty using stuff that is around your neighborhood, in your backyard. Use those. Don't use this if you have that choice. It's awesome.
Okay, better,
Yeah.
Julie.
Yep.
The better.
There you go. So I mean, you can use. You see, Kathy's got a different pumpkin, which is really cool. I like that one because it's a short, fat one like that. It's like I like that the character that one has.
Yeah.
You can even use is it butternut squash that has that oblong? It's like a snowman.
Yeah.
You could do those too. I've seen YouTube videos with that. There's so many videos out there with decoupage, like all kinds of gourds and stuff like that. It's really fun. But that is the gist of this project. You take your pumpkin, you get your leaves, decoupage, really sticky fun, have your wipes available, all good. Family time, this is awesome. This will be great. Decorating your tables with it for the holiday, and that's it. And you will have some links on the bottom of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And please don't forget to fill out those surveys. When you're done watching these harvest trainings, get that $50 gift card, you guys. I'm telling you, 2 or more trainings, you get that $50 gift card. We won't be able to use that when Thanksgiving comes around. I'm telling you, I know I will. But thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Chloe.
Definitely, thank
This was
you.
awesome. Thank you guys.
Yeah, have
a good
fun.
day.
So here we are in our talking circle. This class is on holiday health and nutrition, and we covered the nutrition in our crudité platters, and now we're going to go ahead and talk about health. So here we are in our talking circle with Julie, Stephen, and myself, and we're going to go ahead and talk about a few things regarding health, which health encompasses a lot. It's our mind, body, and spirit, and our emotions, our mental health, our spiritual health, our physical health. You know, all our bodies. We have so many bodies inside of our one body, and we have to remember to always keep all of those in check and balance. So, working out is important. You know, the physical aspect. The emotional health, not getting too stressed out about the holidays. You know, I know shopping and money sometimes is a big issue with holidays. And I can tell you one thing for myself is sometimes we have big family parties. So let's say Stephen's family is having a gathering, and there could be anywhere from 20 to 40 people there. And sometimes there's gift exchanges, but usually we choose one person. Like you pick out of a hat one name, and then you have a limit, let's say $5, let's say $10, $20 limit, and you buy something for that person. You also could make something of the same value. You know, I know a lot of us are crafty. A lot of us have traditions from our tribes. Like for myself, we make dream catchers, medicine wheels, bracelets, earrings. You could always you could always make something of equivalent value for a present. And I know for myself, I make bracelets. So I may sit at my table one Saturday afternoon and pick one pattern, and I'll just make 20 little bracelets of that same pattern. And when I go to Stephen's family's party, then I hand out different sizes. You know, if there's children there, I have a small bracelet. If there's a man there, then I don't put the shiny beads in it. Maybe it's more simple for them.
Guys like shiny too.
So those are options, you know, so it's not so stressful. And we're not stressed out about money, but we're really grounding ourselves, enjoying ourselves, and, you know, looking forward. What I love the most is looking forward to passing out the gifts that I made myself and seeing how happy it makes people.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's one thing I'd like to share. And Julie, would you like to share?
The holidays for me are they're hard. I'm not gonna lie. But I think over the years it's gotten a lot easier, maybe because I'm getting older. And so I really understand. It's about spending time with family and just enjoying everybody. And that's what it comes down to. I stress on not having things for people to give as gifts because I struggle with money. And but Kathy's right, making things and giving that is more meaningful than buying something. For sure, I totally agree with you on that. I love your jewelry. I love your jewelry. I do. She's got beautiful jewelry. I do bead too. I bead necklaces and bracelets as well, and it's fun. It's fun to do that anyway for myself. So I guess what I'm saying is that I know now that just spending time with them, having a meal with them, hanging out, watching the game with them, whatever it may be, going out in the backyard, watching the kids play, just spending that time and eating all the good food that's there, because of course food is it. Food is what's going to bring me to that place anyway. I love the food because my mom and dad make it, and I never get to have it like I used to growing up when I was a kid, so I enjoy it much more. So for me, yeah, don't stress on the holidays. And it's hard to say that and mean it, but it's don't do it. Just spend time with your family. Get those arts and crafts out. Get the games out. Go outside. Get out in the sun. just have fun. Just keep it simple because it's all about love and family. So, and that's how I feel about that.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Stephen.
Yeah, what they said. I'm good. No, exactly as Kathy was saying and Julie was saying, creating. I've always been, I would say gifted, but it's more of a continuous practice of certain things. I think my dad put it to me, because when I would try and draw like my brothers and sisters, I said, I'm not that good. And he said, draw me 100 squares. What? By my 100th square, he said, look at what you began with, look what your 100th square looks like. That's what practice can do. I was like, wow. And so that always stuck with me, just continually doing, repetitive things. And in time, I love to challenge myself with carvings and paintings and working with leather and things like that. So I'm always accumulating, and people would see what I was doing. And so, man, I got everybody's grandma who used to be a hippie's bead collection. They're like, here, I found all these beads when we were cleaning our garage. I'm like, yes. Deer horns and such like that. I call my pet rock because, people just say, here, they give me things. And then I turn around and create things like the carving the turtle. It's from an abalone shell somebody gifted me. It's from buffalo leg bones that I was given. Went to visit her uncles and them on the land out in Cheyenne River Reservation. And I still have a few horse skulls and horse leg bones from the horses that froze that winter. So I honor those horses by using those parts. I honor those buffaloes by using those parts. What she's wearing right there is a buffalo shoulder blade. And her name was Mandy, a friend of mine. He said his friend had that buffalo when she passed away. He gave him some bones. So I put the dragonfly on there with lapis and mother of pearl and the earrings that she's wearing. So it's just a matter of being creative. I always say Kat has some of my best stuff. Whenever I make something, she's like, that's nice. But yeah, my brothers and sisters and family members, they tell me, we really appreciate the things that you make for us. You can go out and buy things, but it's the things that you make, because I know you were thinking of me when you put it together. And I know that you always say when you work on things, you make sure you're in the right frame of mind, because it's a spiritual thing to me. So I keep my thoughts in check. I keep my words that come out of my mouth in check. I'll listen to what I'm listening to on the radio. Usually I'll put in my own tape music to listen to, indigenous music or flute music. And if it's classical music or mellow music, I try to watch what I'm listening to as well. So it's as Julie was saying, as you get older, I'll be coming up on 60 in a few days here in November. Stress is no good. What does it do? Grandpa told me, what does stress do for you? He said it makes you worry, and worry makes you sick. Don't do that to yourself. I mean, if you're really thinking about it, start collecting stuff now to give to people when it comes time. It's easier that way on you. If you feel like you have to give them something, that's expensive or big, save on it, get it then. But worrying over money is silly, because money will always win in the worry department. You're either going to have it or you're not going to have it. I tell people when I'm flush, you got it. It shows up. It comes when it's supposed to. Yeah, it's one of those things. You can collect materials and then put them together, or even show the people how to put them together, or even work on it together. That's key right there, is the togetherness. As you said, just coming together, spending that time together. That's what holidays are for. For families, you're only supposed to spend that time together and then go back to doing what you're doing, because families. No, it's as you get older, it is, that time is so precious to you. This coming Christmas, there's going to be a few more faces that are missing from my family. I mean, just recently. And so to all the families out there, you never know what time is going to do. Time does what time does. And so every day is a holiday and every meal is the feast. So spend it that way and treat it that way. I woke up this morning, that was the best gift. I open my eyes, I can hear, I can feel, my back muscles healing. So soon I'll be able to get in the ocean again and surf. That's what keeps me young. The thoughts of knowing that, hey, today's a new day, tomorrow's a new day. I'm not my past. I learned from that. I'm my future, what I'm thinking I'm gonna be doing. And so, yeah. I think of all those holidays I've had when I was younger, from the time with my brothers and sisters, aunties and uncles, and my dad, and my sister. And yeah, those were the good times. Those are our memories. And the future holidays with new kids, new children, and the elders, the look in their face when they see all the kids. And I love it when the old ones say, "Who's this?" So yeah, families, sometimes there's not much family. Sometimes there's just a few people in a family. And as my dad used to be, he'd see somebody on the street that had no family and he'd say, "Come on over to the house, we got a lot of food." And he'd introduce us to somebody we didn't even know. That's just the way my dad was. He'd see somebody and say, "Hey, you're coming over." And people would go, "Oh, who's this?" And he goes, "Introduce yourself, this is my new friend." Share it. If you've got leftover food, drive down the street. I guarantee you nowadays you will find somebody sitting on the corner. Share it. You know, if you're not going to eat it, if you're not going to store leftovers because there's too many and you're abundant, share it. That's what holidays are for. Every day's a holiday. Thanks.
Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah.
So I'd like to talk a little bit also about traditions, so tribal traditions. But before we get to that, I wanted to mention that, you know, the holidays and Christmas, it's not just about gifts. Even though it seems like that when you turn on your radio, you turn on your TV, it's like we're
Consumerism.
bombarded with, you know, advertisements of, you know, the latest gadget, the latest toy, the latest phone, you know, or car. So you see a lot of consumerism. And I just say, just go back to your roots, go back to your tribal ways, and think about memories. That's the focus, is the memories you want to create with your children. It's not in a shopping cart at a store, you know, it's normally in your home, or it's in nature someplace, or it's, you know, together with family. Maybe your tribe does ceremonies at this time. So, you know, just think about all those things and where you want to be and where you would like to create those lasting memories with your children. Because a lot of times your children will continue those traditions. So just, you know, have an idea of what you want to do with that. And I'll go ahead and jump over to Julie and talk about the tribe. No, that's okay.
So my tribe is Aleut and from Alaska. I don't know a lot about it, but I know they do hold ceremonies during this time. I'm still looking into all of that. So right now, I was born and raised in San Diego here, and I just like to keep on going what I was, what we did when we were growing up, and that's just getting together with family, whoever's around, or even, because nowadays we have to travel, everybody's older, and they all grew up, and they all moved out in a way. So I just try to spend time with my family. We play our games. We just stick to all the stuff that I did when I was growing up, and I share that with my kids. And so we look forward to watching movies together, playing games together, baking cookies together, baking whatever, or even cooking dinners together. And so I continue that through. And then when I start to look into what my tribe does, and if I can do that and bring it to my family, then I'm going to start continuing to do that in the future as well. So that's my plan for that, to continue my tribal traditions in the future once I know what they are on that end.
Nice,
So that's
nice.
what I'm doing.
Yeah, traditionally with the people, you know, with a lot of different nations, a lot of different people, you know, with my Yaqui and Apache side, and with our Tonga side, and being adopted into the Lakota people, what we would do is, we always said, you know, before we die, because a lot of times people wait till somebody dies and then they give out their possessions. Here in California, they burn all their possessions so there'd be no fights over all their stuff. And but with our people, that's why not just on one certain day, you know, because this holiday came about because a lot of people would celebrate the winter solstice. But at times, what we do is we give things in our time, because it's always great to see the look on somebody's faces when you give them one of your possessions that's a prized possession of yours. Or as my brother would say, if you want your art to move, make it like something you would want to keep. And I'm like, wow, that makes sense. And my other sister would say, don't make your art wait for you. And so these are the things I do, you know. If I have time to sit around, I got time to create. Yesterday was a perfect example. I was on hold on the phone. But the whole time I was on hold on the phone, I was busy working in the garage, carving and working with my artwork, waiting for them to pick up. And, you know, the things that we do tribally is they would share. Like I know up north, the potlatch, and in all tribes, they would have a giveaway. And if you had so much such things and you wanted to honor somebody, you would put all your stuff out there. Some tribes, people would put everything out there and even give away their lodge, all their utensils, everything they worked with. And this way they knew that they were providing for the tribe. Everybody that needed something would come by and get something. Nobody was left out. And in the turn, people would come up and say, here, I had an extra one of these. Within a day or two, this person had everything they needed and a new lodge. You know, if you were putting together something new and you had something old, you gave it to that person. Example, when we were cleaning out her Lexi Clifford Black Bear's belongings when he passed, all his things we were putting out there, laying them out to clean out the shed. And we told people that were coming to help us, pick out any tools you need, take what you need. And then she said, what is this over here? And we uncovered it. And I said, oh, that's a welding machine. And I said, I remember I was with him when he got this at the swap meet because the cord had been cut off. The guy said he took it out of his truck and accidentally set it down, cut the cord right off, never reattached it. So there's not much to reattaching now. You reattach the wires, put a sleeve over it, it's working. Todd Bordeaux came by and he was telling me, yeah, Pops is bummed he hasn't been able to weld his ironworks, and he does art and he makes things. And I said, see if he needs this. And he said, no way, that's exact same machine. Pops was bummed because they don't make that machine anymore. He said, this thing is brand new, it's never been used. And I said, no, the guy cut the cord accidentally when he set it on the ground. I said, take that to Pops. Dude, seriously? I'm like, yeah. He goes, that's like $1,000 machine. I said, yeah, tell him it's his, it's from Uncle. And it's pretty interesting because Kat's father and Todd's father were both welders. They knew each other. And they said, oh yeah, I knew her dad. So it was great that, you know, this is what we mean about giving away things in time, just to see the look on their faces. And Todd, he's like, dude, do you know what that is? I said, yeah, it's a come-along cinch for fences. He said, we're putting up a fence around the house on the res. I said, nice, take it. He's like, man, you know how much money you guys could have made off all this stuff? I said, yeah, that's not the key. That's not the point. I said, we just need to get the things moving so we can have this space here. So yeah, sharing. Sharing is caring. If you have it and you don't need it, pass it on. And, that's about all I'm going to say, because tribally, yeah, it took a village. That's where the saying came from. It takes a village. Look out for each other. The hunters would go hunt, and not in our people, you didn't even eat the animal that you hunted. If you got a deer, you did not partake of that deer. You corded it up and gave it to the elders or gave it to people who needed that food. And so that's the way that worked. And in turn, another hunter would come in, knew that you fed his family or elders that didn't have somebody to take care of them, and they would give you the food too. They would say, here, I got this deer, you can have this section. And so that's how the circles are all kept. Thank you. Tell me.
Okay, and then I'll share a little bit of some traditions and what I remember growing up, going back home to my reservation is we had this big, long, like a log house, and this was in Greengrass on the Cheyenne River Reservation in South Dakota. And I always remember we had a tree, a Christmas tree, and there would be tobacco in plain pouches hung on the trees for the men. So a lot of the Lakota men were pipe keepers. You know, they needed tobacco for their pipes, for their prayers and their spirituality. And I thought that is so clever. You know, that I loved that because, you know, during those times we were they were trying to assimilate us into the mainstream American way, right? So Christianity, Catholic, and they were even taking our spiritual pipes away. You know, some priests would come and knock on the door and ask for their pipes, and they just take it. So a lot of our spiritual ways we had to hide. You know, a lot of elders would hide their pipes in tree trunks, and they would make one that they weren't attached to and give it to the priest, and they would still have their pipe. So I always remember that, and I even remember it more as an adult because when I was younger, it didn't really make sense to me. You know, like, why is there tobacco pouches on the tree? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, what? Why isn't there ornaments or lights or candy canes, you know, like you usually see? And, you know, now that I'm older, like, I just thought, wow, that was impressive that they did that. And it was so meaningful. And to think about that now, you know, as the Tupi sacred pipe cultural educator, I just feel like a lot of situations and things that happened in our childhood still continues to bring meaning into your adulthood. So that's why spirituality, customs, holidays, you know, like you really have the opportunity to choose what you want to teach other people about yourself, your tribe, your family, to teach your children, you know, because we are all part of a community. Even in an urban environment, we all have that ability to share. So, you know, sharing your personality, sharing your laughter, you know, if you're a good cook, you know, sharing cookies or bread, you know, whatever it is, you have a talent, share it. You know, we all need it in a community. So, you know, we always look at one person for guidance, but, you know, in each family, we should have somebody there to guide the family. And that's how it was, you know, in the olden days. We didn't have to go make appointments to get help. You know, usually we had help in the family with an elder, or the parents were taught by an elder or a spiritual person to help their family. So, you know, just a reminder to continue that and think about that. And, you know, the Western ways are good as well, but it's nice to have both. So I'll leave you with that. And again, no stress, enjoy the holidays, take time for yourself. You know, we don't always have to do something.
Yeah.
You know, like just go to the beach and watch the waves, you know, or just enjoy sitting in your backyard listening to the birds. You know, like all of that has meaning and it's all important. So that's all I want to share. Thank you.
In closing, what I'd like to say is something my father always told me, that every day is a holiday and every meal is a feast. And so it's how you look at it and how you develop your day. And so when you eat in this much abundance, you're bound to have good energy and good thoughts. So enjoy the holidays. Oh, takuyayasan. Oh, hechituyalo.
I really do hope you guys enjoyed this part of the food segment. This is my favorite time of the year, is the food, the holidays, and the family being together. It's really important. And it is about representation and making it look pretty. And I know it doesn't look like it now, but you guys will have a lot of fun when you get together with the family and putting them all together, and all the colors and all the tastes and flavors, and bring a little bit of your tribe to the table. Definitely, it's important to keep that going, and I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning into this class. We're grateful to be here for you, to give you this lesson today. Again, enjoy and go out and try to find the types of foods that your tribe ate. You know, sometimes it's hard to find if you're far away from your tribe, but you could always incorporate like the internet. You can order offline. I know Julie found reindeer.
We have reindeer jerky because I'm Alaskan Aleut from Alaska, and I Googled on Amazon, and there's lots of dried meats from my tribe on there. So I'm definitely going to have some reindeer jerky. I know it sounds funny, but it's kind of, I'm excited to try it. And hopefully next year, if we do these again, I'll bring it to the table for sure.
Yeah, so like with my tribe, it's buffalo, and it is harder to find buffalo here. So I incorporated trout. So just find what you can, and you know, give to your children what your ancestors ate. That's very important, just to keep the lessons going and keep your culture strong. Thank you. Aho mitakuya ayasan, ho hechitu alo mitakuya ayasan.